All right, everybody, welcome back to the Adventure RX podcast brought to you by Pinpoint Physical Therapy. I'm your host, Dr. Nick Anderson, physical therapist, runner, and skier by trade. Today, I'm super excited. We have one of the GOATs, the king of After Bang, Ski Jesus, some might say, Mr. Tom Wallisch, Pittsburgh native. We're going to get into some of the local stuff he's got going on. Multiple X Games medalist, big competitor, big filmer. Super excited for this chat today, Tom. But thank you for your time, sir. What do you got going on today?
I got nothing. I'm stoked to be here, stoked to chat. Love the Midwest roots we've all got, and no, nothing. It's summertime for me, so maybe a little golf this
Very
afternoon.
nice.
It's the summer pastime of choice. It is actually aggravating and slow, and the complete opposite of the danger of skiing. So I love it. So maybe a little golf, doing a little. I went for a run this morning, just trying to enjoy summertime, and then get ready for next winter.
Good, man. Yeah, golf's great. We were just out yesterday. It's
Nice.
I call it a lifelong struggle. It's
It
just
is.
doesn't matter sometimes. Doesn't matter how much you practice. It just the course gets you, man.
I mean, it's just like one of those things where it's taught me a lot over the years. I like to think in patience and
I agree.
forgetting what went wrong, moving on to the next shot. And it's this like lesson. And I have really bad patience. I'm really ADD, really go, go,
Yeah,
go, hike the rail one more time. And this is like, oh, dude, you hit a bad shot. You can't try again. You got to go to where it is and try from there. And it's
right,
just like, okay, just relax. And
right.
it's trying to teach me that, but we'll see if it's actually working.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you there. A lot of life lessons. Both being kind of Midwest, small mountain guys growing up. Your home mountain, Seven Springs. We'll get right into it. Like, what was the pros and cons? I'm not sure when you actually moved out of PA area to move west. I know for us, you obviously can't get the big mountain stuff in, but hot laps, man, just rail hiking. Some of the best rail skiers around, like we mentioned, Freddie.
Mhm.
A lot of local kids are just so good. We're just getting those hot laps in. So give us a little plug for Springs and any events you got going on. I know you got the Toyota takeover. I'm hoping that happens again this coming winter.
Yeah, I think the plan is for that to continue happening with Toyota and at Seven Springs. And I think for me growing up on the East Coast and for everybody, like it is that longer hours, quicker laps. And while the parks and the resorts are so much smaller, like don't get me wrong, I live in
Mm-hmm.
Utah now. Every single run has more vertical drop. The green slopes have more vertical drop than any run I ever grew up at. But you can ski. We have night skiing. So till 9, 10, midnight at some of these East Coast
Right.
Midwest resorts all day a week, after school on weekdays, where you can't ski out west after school on a weekday, and then short chairlifts or a rope tow or a handle tow or whatever it might be. There's just this repetition aspect and just availability of the sport where it's more affordable. You can have crummier gear and still do rails. That I just think the East Coast and Midwest are like born and bred for building park skiers and snowboarders. It is that reps. It's for me, the thing I knew most when I moved out to Utah, and I moved out after I graduated high school. So unlike a lot of people that maybe move out west for school or a ski academy up north or whatever it might be, as soon as I graduated high school, I moved out west for college. And the first thing I realized was the weather was nice every
Yeah.
day. Like
Yeah.
it was either
Right.
snowing and you skied POW or it was sunny. It wasn't
Oh,
just like rainy, icy, overcast, cloudy, sleet, whatever. And it just like, even on the slightly overcast day, I was like, this is the best day I've ever had. The East Coast teaches you, like, I would ski in the shittiest weather,
oh yeah.
and it just made it that much better out here. Like the kids that
Right.
would take the day off because it wasn't a powder day, I was like, what are you doing? This is the
Yeah.
best day I've ever seen in my 18 years on this earth. So it's like, there's something about that learning in the East Coast Midwest where like the weather's never good, the parks are never that good, but like
Right.
there's always something to do, and the crew around you is fun. And it was that motivation that I realized when I moved out here, like how much more motivated I was than some of the West Coast people that were born and bred in the mountains out here. Like I would just ski longer or ski on the worst day or go in
Right.
the morning and then at night hike a rail somewhere. Like just a little bit more motivation, which is I think the game changer that took me from like an East Coast rail kid to within 1 year winning super unknown and then getting invited to bigger contests. It was like that first year that just like my skill went from 0 to 100. Maybe not
Oh
zero. I
yeah,
was good for what I was, but like to being on caliber with some of the pros. It was crazy.
right. Yeah, we've known a few buddies move out, very good skiers and move out west, and within these young kids within a year or two, they're on flow sponsorships. And
Yeah.
our one buddy George Brown, I believe he's on Vishnu. I believe
Oh,
he's still on
sweet.
Vishnu. But yeah, so cool. I mean, he would be out at Brandywine, Boston Mills, hiking, 8 straight hours in rain, sleet, like didn't matter, and then you
Yeah.
get out there, it's
It's
like,
what you
oh,
did.
bluebird day every day.
And like there is some night skiing out here. We have Woodward Park City and Brighton. So like
Yeah,
if
Woodward's
you're that
nice.
kid, you're the kid that like moves out here and you're like, why aren't we going back for more? Like we
Right.
skied today, but like there's night skiing. Like I don't get it. Like that's what we'd be doing at home. And you just like have that much motivation. That's all it takes in our sport. And I've always said that to young kids coming up, like it's not like how hard you work. It's just reps. Like you keep trying it, like you'll figure it out. Unlike golf, I'll keep swinging it. I probably won't get that much better without coaching or without swing playing and calculations. But like if you just keep trying to rail, you're gonna grind it. Like your muscle
You'll
memory will
land it
figure it
eventually.
out.
Right.
Yeah. At least I
Yeah.
think. I don't think we need coaches. You just need reps.
You just gotta get out there and be willing to fall and
Yeah, that's
get
part of
laughed.
it, I
Yeah,
guess.
get laughed at a little bit and just keep grinding.
Hmm.
Yeah, with it, so super unknown. I love super unknown. I still watch it every year. I've had a few buddies and friends enter and get in and make it to the semis or the finals. So I'd say, so I'm 32. We're kind of like in the same cohort. Back when I was learning stuff, like it would be a couple ski segments a year that would come out and be like, oh, that's how we learn. Couple ski videos. It wasn't all this like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, not as much anyway. And I remember your super unknown edit was, I mean, it's goated. It was like one of the best of all time. It was so sick back then because it came out and you were doing stuff that you were probably seeing out there, like other guys doing, but like small mountain guys, we're just like, oh, what is this tail dip? What is this pretzel? Like, what is going on here? Um, so like, what was that experience like? The whole like super unknown. Is that something that because you were in early days for super unknown, and I've talked to a few others that have done the contest. I think it's so cool. I hope they keep doing it forever. But what was that whole thing like? Was it something that like you planned on wanting to do, or just something like naturally just occurred?
It was definitely something I had seen while I still lived back east in Pennsylvania. And at the time, like YouTube was coming out and you could put some edits on the internet, but it still wasn't a huge thing. And for me, I saw that event because Level One made the best movies that I watched every year. And
Right.
I'd buy
Exactly.
those DVDs. And then I saw that contest and I was like, this is so cool. We were already, me and guys like Steve Stepp, who I grew up with, we were filming each other. They just
Okay.
happened to be like, at first they were VHS cameras, then
Right.
mini DV, and like
Right.
we were
Right.
filming, like
Yeah.
film existed. There just wasn't really a way to put it out. So seeing that contest is like, dude, we are so unknown that made sense to us. Like we live in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, but also we have a lot of rails and boxes. And at the time, we were what I felt like on the forefront of some of that new tech rail trickery from
Oh, for
big
sure.
spins on, pretzeling,
Right.
gripping, all
Right.
that stuff. And we're like, shit, we just got to put video together and let people know because if like somebody sees this, like we're doing what Corey Vanuller's doing and he's the opener of the Level One movie. Like we definitely
Right.
can't jump like him or ski half pipe like him because we don't have one, but like we have rail tricks. So that was the goal going into that freshman year that I was out here for sure was to film that video. And to your point, like, yeah, there were a lot of good skiers out here, but it was like a couple of us East Coast, Midwest guys, mainly that crew of the 4x9 kids that I was with, whether it was Rich Fahey and Steve Stepp and AJ and all these guys that were
Oh,
like
that's right.
doing
The
those
four
tricks.
4x9. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
I mean, there were kids at Park City, they were just better jumpers than us and
Hmm.
better big mountain skiers, but like no one was doing those rail tricks. Like almost all those ones in that video, or like every day that year, our crew would do what to us was a never been done rail trick, some sort of three swap pretzel or four on pretzel or whatever that tech term would be. It was like, I've never seen that before. Is it possible? And then we would do it. We're like, oh, I guess it is possible. Like that whole year felt like that to us. And I mean, I thought that video was going to be good, but when it leaked or got out and was labeled what Jesus would look like if he freestyle skied,
Oh
and
yeah,
kids
yeah,
started
yeah.
like
That's
hyping
right.
it, I was like, whoa, 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 you guys really like this. I thought I was like, okay, but like that confidence boost you get from like peers and random kids on the internet just telling you you're dope. Like I went from like thinking maybe if I try hard, I can get like some sort of a career to like, holy shit, I might be able to do this. Like they're
Yeah.
hyping me up. Like, should I enter some contests and like compete? Like, oh my God. Like it was a really cool confidence boost. And all those comments, like to this day, any of the kids out there that commented on that or said kind things, like it's those words that meant so much that like pushed me to where I still am today. It's crazy.
Awesome. Was that when that would start blowing up? Was that your moment of like, yeah, I'm a good skier, but maybe I could make a career out of this thing.
Yeah, that was definitely like I mean, don't get me wrong, as a 15-year-old, I was like, it'd be so cool to be a pro skier like
Right.
Candide or Tanner Hall or whoever. But like, I was like, I'm going to college. Like, I was in school that fall and spring semester. That wasn't, I didn't think it was possible. But that video comes out in '06, '07, and I'm like, wow, maybe there's a sponsorship. Maybe I could get paid or find a career. And the video stuff for us was, we were just on that forefront of it where it was like, okay, we'll put videos on the internet, kids will like them, and then we'll get sponsors for the videos, and kind of like being a part of that first switch from DVDs, full length movies to like edits and online content, and just being there for it as it evolved was crazy.
Yeah, it was an interesting time with, as the technology's gotten better, right? I feel like pretty much every sport has gotten higher quality, better, more athletic, more power, more speed. Training's been
Yeah.
better. Um, and a lot of it too is like you see guys and women just doing it more often. It's on my
You see it
Instagram, it's on
instantaneous.
my feed every night, right? I see some 12-year-old doing a triple cork. It's like, holy cow.
And instead of waiting, like you used to be like, oh, that's the best trick I did all year. It'll come out in nine
Right,
months in the fall. Now it's like I'm putting it on the gram in 2 minutes, and it's
right.
like you
Yeah,
just landed it at the resort, and it's on Instagram in 3 minutes. It's like, how do you keep up? Like as kids, you're constantly bombarded with talent, and then it pushes you or shows you what's possible. Like for us, it's like you can really only envision the things that you've seen, and these kids are seeing such talent and such crazy
right,
tricks that it makes sense a 13-year-old can do a triple cork
yeah,
14. They've seen hundreds of them.
right,
How can you not do it?
right. Exactly. Yeah, man. With you got the good company, you got the Wallisch project. Some really quality film recently. Any
Yeah.
projects on the docket for this coming winter, or any ideas you're throwing around?
Yeah, for this past winter, actually, I had a ton of fun. It was the first winter in 2 or 3 where I stepped back into the streets filming a bunch.
Oh yeah,
And
nice.
I had a blast. I filmed a couple different projects that are coming out in separate things. Filmed with Alex Hall and Owen Dahlberg and Hunter Hess for a new Magma movie that I'm really psyched on,
Oh,
just to
very
like
cool.
ski with Alex Hall, who I think is the best skier at all elements of the sport currently, from
Yeah,
competing to rails to backcountry. Like he's the
he's doing it all.
most well-rounded and like insanely talented while also being like the most humble guy. So had a lot of fun filming that. Filmed for a Line Street project and then for a Monster Street project. So spent a lot of time in the cities and grinding rails. Took it back
Nice.
to the roots a little bit, which was really fun. We got to film in Ohio of all places. Spent 2.5 weeks in Cincinnati where it snowed, where my
Yeah, that's
wife's
right.
from.
Yeah, I think
It
we
was so
we
sick.
touched
We were
base at that
talking.
point. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so that was really cool. And to me, like growing up on the East Coast and like growing up with rails, like I think I'd be 54 years old, not skiing much anymore. But if it snows in a cool city, I might just go slide some down rails. Like it's
Yeah,
still like it's so cool when it snows somewhere it doesn't snow, and being able to like see the city in that way is something that'll always bring me joy. So that was really fun this year. I think for this coming year, I'm going to step back a little bit more into the backcountry, and we're working on a North Face project that should be pretty
Awesome.
big. That is still in the works, so I can't talk about it much, but hopefully be on the road all year with some of the cool North Face athletes, from Jossie to Dennis Renaulter to everybody else, yeah, Nick McNutt, Ian Mack, whoever else can be involved. So be
Awesome.
in the backcountry and side country a bit, but the streets will always have my first love.
Streets are your first love. I love it. Love
I
it.
mean, I'll never leave the, well, maybe I'll leave the streets, but again, if it snows somewhere cool, I can't guarantee I won't. If I'm back home in Pittsburgh or in the Midwest in a cool city, if it snows in Atlanta, Georgia a ton, like I'm going.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be something so cool to
Drive
slide or
around, hit some
grind.
spots.
It's just too fun. I mean, it's just something about the aesthetic of it that'll always get me.
Yeah, I like to ask this question. If obviously, like skiing, filming, street, it sounds like really first love. When you got into the competition scene, did you like competing? At that highest level, X Games, Do Tour, FIS, like all that. Um, what was that process like? Were you extremely competitive? Was it just kind of hanging out with the homies and whoever won was like, it was cool? Um, I've always wondered what that kind of like that camaraderie was like, and I know everyone's different. And was that a process that you enjoyed?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as a kid, and still to this day, I'm way too highly competitive and a sore loser, and really just want to be good at everything like so badly. And I think for me, I always wanted to compete. I It wasn't about necessarily winning, but about trying to do the best you can do. And from those early days, from like '07 till probably like 2014, all I wanted to do was compete. Like I filming was so fun and I did it because I just wanted to ski more, but like I wanted to win. I wanted to go to the best parks. That was a part of it, with the best skiers. And these are all your friends. You're having the greatest time in the world skiing the world's best parks, trying to put together the best slope style run you can, do the hardest tricks you can. And for me, like there was nothing better than putting down that perfect run that maybe, and to this day, I don't think I ever necessarily did the hardest run at any event, but I would just try to do it perfect and with the best grab or the best landing. And for me, it was like finding that like perfect moment. And I loved it. I mean, the only reason I stepped down or stepped back from that aspect of the sport is that I didn't feel as much drive to like spend my whole season training for it. And growing up, it took me a long time to get invited to these bigger events, say X Games, like a year or two longer than I would have liked. And then I thought I
Right.
deserved to be in that event earlier. And the last thing I wanted to be was that guy that held on 1 or 2 years too long, didn't care enough to try to win, but was in it just to maybe make finals. And I was like, there's a kid younger, hungrier than me that deserves this chance. And I know what it feels like to be that kid. So as soon as I like thought I didn't have what it took to win every event, like
Mhm.
going into those years, I was like, I have what it takes to win. I just got to put it down. Eventually, I was like, I think I got what it takes to like get fifth, but like fifth doesn't matter to me. I'm out. Like some other
Right.
kid can have that opportunity. And that's when I completely stepped back from competing in 2014, 2015. Basically, I kind of rolled out of it. And I was like,
Gotcha.
I mean, I love film too. And that was my chance to then show off in that way. And it's still that way. I mean, still to this day, when I'm hitting a handrail with Hunter or Alex, like he's going to beat me. Alex is going to beat me at whatever trick it is. He's an insanely talented skier, but you better believe I'm trying to beat him to a harder trick or get the rail before him and burn him. Like there's competitiveness in this that I can't let go of, which probably should as I get older and really just start getting broke off trying to keep up with the kids. But it's fun to like push yourself in that healthy competitive way. And so much of it, like we were still all partying together. The events were so fun. 10% rule. You're spending money at the bar. Whoever won that night, you're finding them to buy you
Right.
drinks. Like
Right. Right.
it was more camaraderie and more of a renegade small sport than it is now with coaches and national teams and Olympics. Like things were just like we would go on trips and I would room with a Canadian or an Australian buddy. Like we would just figure it out on our own. You didn't just stay with your PT, physio, and national
Right,
team. It
right.
was like, oh, we got to go to France. Like, yo, who's texting? Who's got a free room or who wants to split a room? Like figuring it
Right.
out on your own more back in the day was really fun.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good perspective. It's I like to see the OGs in the X Games, right? Like
Yeah.
we all used to love, Jossie doing the zero spins and everything. But you guys are anyone at the top of their game, right? Is an ultra competitor, alpha mentality. Like you have to be,
Yeah.
with that self belief. But that's cool. You kind of stepped away. It's like, yeah, I could make finals. I could throw down. But maybe there's an 18-year-old, 17-year-old out there that has the ceiling to maybe win it all, like Big Air, something like that. Mate the last few years has been super fun to watch.
Yeah.
Um, so,
And
seeing
the
some of
only
those
way
guys.
those kids get in is by somebody else stepping out. And I would never force anybody or tell anybody, but it's like if you want it, stay in it. But I just didn't want it bad enough to spend my whole year. Airbags were coming out and this and
Yeah.
that trick, and I was like, this is okay. Like I got in the I'm not that guy. I'm not going to spend all summer training on the airbag to be able to keep up with you guys. So you got it, have it.
As Tom, as you've gotten older, do you look at skiing any differently now, especially urban and park? Is your risk tolerance any, I don't know, I would say more realistic risk tolerance? Or one question that I wanted to ask you too is, how often are you trying new stuff? Like what does that look like now at your age compared to maybe 10 years ago when you were 26, 27?
I think it's just definitely a lot more methodical, and also like it's more unique and creativity based. So where it used to be, I was always trying to learn the next degree of rotation and the next technical rail
Right.
trick. I've kind of reached the limit of like where I don't want to get hurt trying
Hmm.
a new triple cork something or other. Like that's just not what I'm going to do. But for me, like still every year, I don't necessarily learn new tricks, but I'll be influenced or motivated by another young skier or a video I
Hmm.
watch to try a new grab combination with a trick, or the park will set up a feature in a unique way where I've never done a rail transfer from this to that, from this foot to that foot, where it's something new to me. It's not new to the sport. And it's the same with
Right.
urban skiing. And the reason I love it so much, like even this year, you just find things that like you can't find in a park that I'm like, whoa, this isn't the hardest thing, but I've never done this type of two rails close together or whatever it might be, or a rail on a ledge. Like there's always something that I'm looking for that's just different than what I've done. Maybe not like a new trick, it'll still be a trick I've done, but like on a new feature, or like same with backcountry. Like every jump's different. You find a new place to build a wedge or to step out a lip, and you're like, well, I've done a million, maybe not a million. I don't know how many switch fives in my life, but like
Right.
this is new. This is a really flat or really vertical takeoff, and like there's a lot of drop. So how do you set it? And it's always new. So for me, it's that like variety of the feature, of the location, and then doing maybe the same trick or similar tricks, continuing to do them. But my risk tolerance is way lower. Like I like summer, I like
Yeah.
golf, I like doing other sports, and I like not being injured. So I'm definitely methodical. Like, oh, that landing is too flat, I'm not going to hit it, or I'm not
Right.
going to try this, or it's not slushy today, why would I try something new? Like what used to be me, like doesn't matter what day it is, I'm learning something because I'm trying to get somewhere.
Hmm.
Now I'm just like not trying to hold on, but like just being smarter about picking and choosing the days where I battle something.
Sure. Trying to maintain.
I'm trying to maintain. I like being not injured. And that being said, I did break my ribs this year. I bruised my spleen. I got broke off, but it's just part of it, I guess.
Getting older, man. We're getting older.
Yeah, it hurts, but it's okay. It's still fun.
With that, what are you a gym rat? Do you like cardio? What do you do to maintain?
I I get that question a lot, and
Yeah.
it's so funny to me. Like I'm definitely not a gym rat.
Okay.
That being said, if I'm injured, I'm down to go all in on it. So
Sure.
it's for me, it's for maintaining. I am so much more sport, outdoor, cardio, some weight and band and like just maintaining. But like when I blew my knees, it was all in 6 to 9 months, like
Right.
as hard as I could, everything somebody told me to do, following orders, like doing the bullshit. And that's the thing I tell kids the most is like for injury recovery, like just getting back to normal, it's everything. And it's the smaller things. Kids ask me all the time when they blow their knee because they know I've done it too. And it's like the things that are the lamest, like the hip crawling band work or whatever it is for this or that, that seems so monotonous and kind of small. Just do that. Do it as hard as you can and as committed as you can to get back. And then for me, since I'm healthy right like now, like I mean, I went for a run this morning, did some light weights, and like I'd go play pickleball or go for a mountain bike ride or do some other action sport or like just be active in a different way. Because I think for me, skiing is less athletic in that it's muscle tone and more in that it's like this being able to recognize what your body did wrong and then do it right the next time. And that kind of like mental ability to understand your body, you can learn from any other action sport or any other regular like
Oh, for sure.
exercise or game. Like it's being able to get better at something rather than it is like you could be the strongest guy, you're not going to be good at skiing, but if you fall off a rail to the left constantly and then you figure out how to lean, that's putting your mind to what your muscles are doing. And it's that connection that you can improve all summer doing other sports
Yeah,
or
cross
learning a
training.
new skill.
Mhm.
Yeah, whatever that skill might be. Maybe you want to get really good at ping pong.
Yep.
That's not athletic, but like it would help you because you're like, oh, I hit it too far. I gotta like it's this connection, and that's what I try to tell kids more than anything. Like, sure, it's gonna help you be stronger and maybe prevent injuries the stronger and more flexible you are. But better than anything, like if you can cat out of the air because you spent all summer on the trampoline and never fall hard, then you
Right.
don't get hurt at all. So it's just like being that person that's willing to just try new things, be active,
Hmm.
and go at the right pace. Like I see so many kids nowadays learn a cork seven and then want to learn a double cork 10. If you're the kid that tries to slowly do it and learn one new thing every day, like then you don't get hurt. Less about like what you did in the off season to not get hurt. Just be smart when you're out there. Like even as a young kid, you can only progress so fast. And if you
Right.
have 100 days on hill every season without getting hurt, you're going to learn quicker than the kid that is trying really hard every day but
Banging
gets hurt
himself.
every
Yep.
time. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I love cross training out with young patients or with parents asking me questions. The the rise of ACL, Achilles injuries, and especially in female athletes, has really skyrocketed the last 20 years because sports are so specialized now. You're playing soccer all year round, basketball all year round. You have skiers that ski all year round. So I'll tell them like, look, you got to pick another sport. Like you're saying, it could be
Yeah.
freaking pickleball. It could be running distance. You just got to get different patterns, different loading patterns going.
That is a
I'm a
good
big
point. Yeah.
big proponent of strength training. Especially the whole myth of you can't strength train when you're too young. That's pretty much thrown out the window. There's no growth plate injuries there. That's all phooey. There's no weight to that with research anymore. But I think you had a good point where it's especially in freestyle skiing, you can't prevent injury, right? That's impossible.
No.
But you can reduce your risk for being injured with the flexibility, with the strength, and then better balance, better power that might come from cross training, trampoline work, like you're saying. So,
Yeah. Especially if like you're going to go to the gym, like go to the gym for what the gym's for. And instead of doing, for me, instead of doing plyos and balance ball and all these
hmm
balancing things at the gym, which I did during all my recoveries and I
right,
would still do if I'm trying to get something stabilized again, I'd go to the gym or I'll do something. I'll do lunges and squats and other things that like that's a power training. And then I'll
right,
use cross training for that balance work. And something else is just the way I like to load it. So it's just like a little bit more enjoyable and you'll do more of it. But the specialization thing is something I see so much of. It's like these kids will even train skiing like soccer used to be and still is like at 12 they're going to states and they're playing all year. And it's like, if you don't play another sport, you're only doing those certain moves. Like
Yeah,
eventually the
over and
knee's going to
over.
go
Right.
out. I just
Exactly.
like, same with skiing. It's why like I think it's important for people to take months off in the summer, and you just can't ski all year round. Like build the diversity of what those muscles are doing, and then also what all the stabilizers are doing, what everything in your legs and arms are doing. Like
Yeah.
you're just going to be a bit more well-rounded, and eventually, yeah, definitely focus. Olympics are coming up. Like if every skier that's going to be in them isn't skiing all the time and training for skiing, that's silly. But like if you're 14, do everything.
Yeah.
Like come
Play
on.
play a little bit of everything. Try a little bit of
Yeah.
everything, you know.
At least I think. But again, it's hard when you love it. And if these kids love it, like I did, like I grew up on the East Coast. If I could have skied all summer, I probably would
Yeah.
have because I just
Yeah.
love doing it. But like, I think it was good for me to take the summers off and just do other stuff and find other ways to like integrate it, from jibbing curbs, diving boards, whatever way you found to flip and a trampoline, and integrated it come next winter. Just felt like it worked better. But again, it's a different world.
Yeah, it's hopefully that starts shifting. I think some of the research coming out, I think coaches are more knowledgeable now with cross training and strength training. Soccer's huge in Cleveland. There's a huge soccer scene, many clubs, and my wife is one. She was a big club soccer player growing up. Had played in Division One college. She had both ACLs done from just
Oh,
essentially being a single sport athlete. Good skier now.
mhm.
Gotten her on the slopes a lot. She's hitting the,
Nice.
the diamonds and everything. So yeah, it's been fun. With the you had both ACLs done or just the one? You had both.
Both. 4 years apart, but yeah, I did my left ACL right before the 2014 Olympics, and then my right ACL in 2018.
So not to hit a sour note, but ACL surgery sucks as is. It's
Yeah.
a year, and then you get back on skis and you're still not feeling 100% likely. We'll see. Like for myself, this winter, it's probably going to take a couple years to really start getting back into it. You know, the Olympics now with freestyle skiing is so cool, and the pros and cons of it being on a huge stage. I think the pros are outweighing the negatives. But man, that was a bummer not to see you on Team USA. I think the whole ski
Yeah,
community wish we could have seen that. Um, weren't you? So
it
wasn't
happened.
it you and Simon both kind of got dinged up at the same time? Is that correct? And
Yeah.
kind of hanging out and
Yeah,
rehabbing a little bit together.
yeah, that same year, I blew my ACL in October of 13, leading up to the
Okay.
Olympics, so not enough time to get surgery. So I put a knee brace on, worked out, and rehabbed a ton, and then just skied without an ACL for that full
Okay.
season, trying to make the Olympic
Trying to
team.
make
And
it. Yeah.
Simon as well tore his, like, just during one of the like final two or three Olympic qualifier events,
Uh,
and then also like put a knee brace on that same event and tried to do a run and just couldn't. But yeah, both of us rehabbed that year together. He lived with us for a while we rehabbed at the US ski team facility together, and just like crazy to go through. I mean, he's obviously, we're almost the same age. He might be like 9 months older than me, but for him, he's been in the sport maybe 10 years longer than me.
yeah.
But to have the sport finally get into the Olympics and him pretty much be in like the end or still in his prime of half pipe skiing, me to be in what I thought was my prime of competitive slope skiing, and both of us missed that event was
Yeah.
definitely
It was a bummer.
sour. But at the same point, like it all worked out for the best. The people that won did really well,
Hmm.
and I don't think we missed anything. I mean, our careers have been so good and at the right time where, yeah, it sucks. And I was so happy I tried at least and was impressed. I even put down runs. I couldn't land jumps forward because I had so much bone bruising
Wow.
in my knee. So I just had to plan my runs around landing backwards, which is hard. So all my runs were like planned around where can I get back to forward to take off forward. I have to land backwards or else it's going to hurt too bad to do the rest of my run. It was kind of absurd, but like just to try was really fun, and to see the team go and do good and see the US sweep slope that year was really
Yeah. It
cool.
was
And
it was so cool.
And now I still get to be involved. Like I'm still working with the U.S. team. I'll be in Milan Cortina this year announcing the event. So I get to
Awesome.
go to the Olympics. There's no pressure. I'm getting
Yeah,
paid just to
just get to
go.
enjoy the
And I get
benefits
to
of it.
talk about
Yeah,
our sports. I mean, I just like there's always a route. And I think it was that year for sure that led me down the path of film. I was like, okay, like I hurt myself training and I was training too long, too many hours into October when I should have been chilling till the next season. And it was like, let's just focus on the fun of it again. And I found a lot of love and fun for the sport when I got back to the film aspect the next year.
yeah, that makes sense. Just needed some time away.
Just some time, but
Yeah,
it's tough. I mean, those knee injuries, I can't, and I tell kids all the time, I mean, take your time, but also like just listen to the people. Like do it day by day. Don't push it. There's always people smarter than you, like telling you what you can and can't do. And coming back, the biggest thing I realized was like, once you are strong and once you're cleared, like you go slow, but like also you can't let it get in your head. For a while, I just like was so in my head about it. And eventually I just stopped thinking about it and got comfortable with wearing the brace on the knee that was surgically repaired. And it was like a year or something out. And I was like, you know what? It doesn't, it's perfect. Like I'm
yeah,
running and training harder than I ever have been. Like I'm fit now. Let's get it.
right,
Like, and you
right.
just got to, I mean, obviously do it at the right pace, but like you can't let it stew in you. And still to this day, I try not to think about like, oh, if I land back seat, I could blow my knee. Like you can't dwell on that. Like,
No,
yeah, it could always happen. I could slip on ice outside my front door and blow my knee.
right.
Just try to be smart and be like as strong as you can and also like as confident as you can. Going into something in our sport without confidence is definitely how you're going to get hurt. So like approach
Sure.
everything with that air of arrogance, like I'm going to get this. Like if you go
Yeah,
into everything like that, you're
for
most
sure.
likely going to be okay. I never got hurt doing something where I was like, let's get it. This is going to be insane. I'm ready though. It's always something stupid where I have a lapse of focus. Like if you're focused, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, I think with the ACL thing, um, very mental, very psychological, right? It's a grind. It's a grind,
Yeah.
and for anyone listening, any kids rehabbing or anyone rehabbing it, research is very clear. It's got to be 9 months minimum. Man, you start feeling really good at like 6, 7 months, and it's like, yeah, let's get back to sport. It's research shows the re-injury rate before 9 months is exponentially higher, and
And that being
so that
said, like all depending on what you do too, like if it's
right,
bad meniscus and bad
sure,
MCL too, like
yes,
mine were
that's
fortunately just ACL,
just the
no
eighth,
other
yeah,
damage.
mm-hmm,
So like
yeah,
my meniscuses were fine, which let me
good,
come back a little quicker. Like just it could
right.
be 12 months. Like
Yeah,
listen to the doctors.
everyone rehab. Everyone's injury is different. Everyone's goal to return is different.
Yeah.
You can't compare it to, Tom Wallisch. You can't compare it to anyone else. You're on your own timeline. Trust the process. Grind at it every day, every other day. The goal should be to be a better athlete. It's what I tell my athletes. You want to be a better athlete after surgery a year out than you were before you got injured. Because why would you want to be the same? That's when you got hurt. Like let's be stronger. Let's have a better cardiovascular base. Let's be more mobile, more powerful, plyometric. Maybe a year and a half out, you're like feeling better than you were before. So
Yeah.
um,
That's the dream.
yeah, that's always the goal for that, and it's not easy. It's
No.
definitely certainly a grind. How do you like doing all the announcing for X Games has been fun to watch. You're doing the Olympics, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, for me, it's just I have such a passion for this sport and competing all those years. Like, there were good announcers and bad announcers. And for a guy that just loves the competitive side still and loves seeing these events and seeing these younger athletes do things that we never thought possible, I just want to be involved and try to make the sport as fun to watch and as good for parents to want their kids to get into or for somebody new to be inspired by. And I, it doesn't need to be me that does it, but until somebody else really loves it and brings like a great motivating voice to it that can name all the tricks better, I'm happy to do it, is the kind of thing. Like, I just want those broadcasts to, like, if you flick it on, I want you to understand what's happening, say that looks pretty cool. And then when your kid or you're a parent, whatever it is, like, I want them to be like, man, this is a cool sport. This is a legit sport. I understand it. It's really looks really fun. You can try it, Jimmy. Or yeah, let's go skiing this weekend. I want to go through the park. It sounds fun. Like it's just fun for me to try to break down the tricks, keep up and hang out with all these kids, get to know everybody, and just like get excited about it because it is exciting to watch. And I try to bring that air of hype and enthusiasm, and hopefully then build a bigger audience and a bigger fan base for our sport, for the athletes, for everyone in it, and for the brands that are in this space. Like the whole thing is just self-motivating and for all of us. But I love it because I get to go to X Games, I get to go to the Olympics, see everybody, and again, I don't have to compete to get paid. It's awesome. I can't get hurt. That being said, I guess I could get hurt. I still like to ride all the courses. So I could get hurt in practice, but I try to keep it chill. I really don't want the X Games announcer to have a shoulder support on. Yeah. So I try to keep it very mellow, but man, it's fun to get to ski all the courses still and see everybody up close and personal.
Yeah, it's been fun to listen to you. I don't think we can find anyone better to do it, and you're naming.
I mean, eventually somebody will do it better, and by that time I'm happy to give it up. And Luke Van Valen gave it up to me because he was an old pro skier that did it for a lot of years, had an amazing voice, and he was like, dude, you know it, take it. So he kind of passed the buck to me, and I'm happy to pass it on at some point. But for now, I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to count. I'm doing 2340s now. Soon it'll be 2520s, 2700s, 2880s. Who knows?
It's insane. Do you have an X Games moment when you're competing that really sticks out, or maybe when you're something you landed, or a proud moment of something you've been thinking about trying? Anything that really sticks out in your head?
I mean, the two golds I have are definitely like highlight moments for me. Like Aspen in 2012, winning at night, the only X Games they ever did, slope under the lights. As an East Coast kid that grew up night skiing, is like pretty damn memorable.
That's pretty cool.
But I would say, like, I mean, that one's easy to jump to, and like I'll never forget that moment and the crowd and doing the run and airing to the top of the wall ride and all these things. But I think competing in Aspen in 2010, which was my first time, I I can't even remember if I made finals or if I just got last in finals. Maybe I got last in finals, but I didn't put a run down, and nothing has ever like grinded me more than finally getting into the event of your dreams, even though it was a year or two after I thought I deserved to be in it, and then just absolutely shitting it and sucking. And it was probably the most motivating thing that ever happened to me in that competition realm, because then for that rest of that year, the tricks I chose in events, I did 100,000 times. Like they were repped. I'm ready.
Yeah,
like, and I finally went into that X Games event in Europe later that year in like 3 months and ended up winning. And it was like this changed, and it was, letting those losses or those falls or those injuries motivate you, I think is the best thing a competitive athlete can do rather than dwelling on it. And I was like so angry then, but like those next 3 months, I've never gone harder at anything, and it worked, and it will work for everybody. So it's a lesson for me, and I think a lesson for everybody to like build on, not stewing on a loss, but moving on. It's the same thing with golf. Bad shot, you shanked one out of bounds. Yeah. Well, the next one, if you think about that, you're gonna do it again. You gotta just maybe hit the range afterward, and then the next time you won't. So I'm trying to remember that moment too a lot, to like that's what led to those successes, is a couple of failures along the way.
Yeah, and I think you can take that into, even kids learning how to hit a rail or trying a 360. It's okay, maybe you didn't get it on ski club night Friday night, but go back next week and practice more. And when you finally land it, it's like, man, how cool is it landing a new trick that you never landed before? Every year I try to land like one little, like you're saying, like one little variation or a different kind of swap, or a pre-grab or something. And,
I mean,
it
there's
doesn't have,
nothing better than
yeah.
that feeling.
Oh, it's such a good, talk
Something new
about,
or something you fall on, like getting back up and landing something. It's that perseverance that like is the biggest adrenaline rush. Like
for
trying
sure.
something new and landing it first try to me is like, yeah, that's great. But if you like try a couple times, it takes a grind.
Oh,
It
man.
feels good.
You eat shit all night, and it's like, man,
Yeah.
you just, okay, let's come back another night. And then you end up landing it or the same night even.
Oh,
Talk about
so good.
self-confidence, especially growing up in high school, middle school, trying to land stuff, and a big confidence builder. I think
Oh yeah,
is
so sick.
like identity. It was cool growing up in our era because you could, we considered ourselves freestyle skiers. Like that was our identity during the winter, and there wasn't many of us in our small town. I mean, there was like a handful. We go to Peak
Yeah.
and Peak and Holiday Valley, and um, we go down to Springs. There's obviously more talent down at Springs, but
But still, a
yeah,
small knit group, you would meet everybody. If you were decent and you spent your time in the park, like you knew everybody by name almost
yeah,
everywhere you went in the East
right.
Coast, Midwest.
Everyone knew each other, and it was always good vibes for sure,
Yeah,
for
it's really
sure.
cool. And it's still like that way to an extent. It's cool that it brings everybody together, the camaraderie in the sport and like still to this day I feel like you could go to like these little rope tow resorts and like if you're good at rails, you're gonna meet the local good kids at rails. They're gonna say what's up. Like you're gonna ride together and like try stuff together. It's a really cool tight knit community.
Absolutely. I think Park City is so cool too because we'll go on vacation out there, do a trip, and you just go on any day and there's pros. I mean, there's X Games
Yeah.
guys, Olympics guys, sponsor guys, and everyone's super chill. Like they're riding with
Yeah.
their crew, obviously, or just chilling. We've seen you out there a couple times, and it's one of the only sports that you can go up and like dap up or give knuckles to one of the goats of the sport. You can't really do that to a Messi or LeBron James type. It's
No.
different. It's so cool. Park City is
Yeah,
definitely
pretty much
definitely a
all of the
spot.
training places for this sport are public. Like
Right.
where nobody in the NBA is going to the local basketball court in City
No.
Park and training. Like the only way, I mean, there is training camps that are private nowadays more than anything, but like if you go to Mammoth, Aspen, Park City, Woodwards, you're gonna see somebody that's in the X Games more than likely, and that's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
cool to
You
like.
get a
It's
nice
all
day
public.
for sure. Yep.
Yeah, like you go on a nice day, or you really want to meet some pros, like you can go do it. The sport's approachable in that way, which is really sick. That most of the practice is done just in the public.
Yeah, it's so cool. We even saw we were out at must have been Park City, Woodward. We saw Tanner. He was just lapping. We went up to
Yeah,
him and gave him knuckles. I'm like, holy shit, it's Tanner Hall. Like, how cool, you know?
getting some park laps in early season or something.
This was, yeah, I think it was January.
Okay,
And he
yeah,
was just chill. He was chilling. He was chilling, and we're like, "You gonna throw
doing
down?"
some.
He's like, "I don't know, man. My knees are a little upset today. Well, give me about an hour, and we'll get back to you on that one."
Yeah, his knees, his body has seen
Uh,
some shit.
he has seen it all, man, and
Yeah,
it's cool to see him keep grinding, though.
yeah.
He's just built different, apparently. He's just a crazy
Apparently, I
guy,
can't even imagine.
crazy guy. Well, Tom,
But
thank you.
just goes to show you can come back from anything. I mean, I think there's no. And the reminder is like maybe you're never going to get back. Like Tanner's fortunate to have a career to get back to being a pro
Right.
after all those, but like you can get back to skiing and trying to convince more people like this is a lifelong sport and injuries you can recover from. Keep doing it for fun.
For
Find a
sure.
job in this sport. Find a career within it. A lane. Like we just need more of the diehard people to stay involved however they
Yeah.
can.
Yes, and even if it's not being a paid pro skier,
Pro.
right? There's still opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm trying to chisel my way into working
Yeah.
with a lot of winter athletes as I grow my practice. There's definitely opportunity out there, and I think the more people, the more good people, especially if you're passionate, right? Like
Yeah.
if you love the sport, you love what you do. Um, you be maybe a little creative, and you're willing to bust your ass and maybe not make a ton of money at first, but just be immersed in it. Um, you'll make it. in some.
No, I hope so. We need more of that.
Right? We need more of it for sure. We need more of it for sure. Well, I hope we get your rail jam kicked off again this winter. That's always
Yep,
fun.
it
We'll
should be. I'll have
yeah,
dates soon, I hope, but it's planned. The
yeah, good.
Olympics take a big bit of February for me, but it'll
Right.
either be earlier in the year or a little bit later in the year. But Toyota is hyped, and I love
All
bringing
right.
it back to the East Coast and
Yeah, yeah,
getting the
yeah.
whole crew out. And I'm gonna do more in the future all over the East Coast, Midwest. I just need
Good.
a non-Olympic year, and we're gonna
Yeah.
start bringing some more events around.
Yeah, we love what Line Skis does. You know, their tour is awesome. We
Oh,
always try to hang out with Andy and Will and the
yeah.
guys when they love brandy wine. They came through last year. We ended up missing them last year, but it's always a good time. Those guys are a hoot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see at the. We'll try to get out to the jam this year whenever that happens. We might have. My brother might compete. Maybe I'll
Nice.
compete. I don't know. I won't make
Yeah.
the. I
Why
won't
not?
make the
It's
final.
free.
Yeah, we'll see how the knee's feeling.
Who cares?
Um,
It's free. Just
it's
jib around
fun.
a little bit. I'll be
We'll
out there hiking.
we'll have some Cleveland boys down there for sure.
Nice.
It'll be fun, but we're looking forward to it. Thank you for the time, Tom.
Of course.
We can do this again whenever. Hopefully, kids out there listening, get some tips, advice, rehab. One question I like to end with: if you have to give your younger self any advice, or any kids that are kind of grinding on the come up, maybe they're out in PC, maybe it's longevity, maybe it's motivation. Last little quote from you here. Anything you might give for advice for the kiddos or for young Tom?
Oh man, that's tough. I mean, I think the only thing I would go back and say is just to like nowadays more so I cherish the memories when I had a bigger crew of friends that are all fully committed to this one thing and this one
Hmm.
sport before jobs and careers and families and kids and everything else in your life takes over to really cherish those moments when you have a great crew around you, and those are the moments you'll learn the most and the moments I learned the most. And I think I did a good job of it, but I would have spent even one more hour out with that squad or hit one more rail or watch the footage together one more time and got out a little earlier instead of probably partying in college and getting
Yeah.
out there at 10. Like, try to cherish those moments when you're in that age range from 18 to 22 where really nothing else matters and you can kind of just commit to it and enjoy all those moments with your friends. And I did a good job, but thinking about those days, it was too easy and too fun. So take me back.
Yeah, one quote I like, and it's almost a mantra. I try to think about it quite often. Is, you are in the good old days
Yeah,
right now, right? Just be self-aware. You're not getting
that you're
any.
in the
You're in the good old days,
every
right?
day right now is the good
Every
old
day,
days. Yeah,
right? Exactly. Especially if you're 16 to 22 and your bones are made of rubber and you could bounce and
yeah.
you know can grind out there and you got minimal responsibilities. That's the time to grind. I hear you.
But even us now in 20 years, we're going to be like, oh man, those were the good old days
Right.
in our
We're in the good old
30s.
days, Tom.
Yeah.
These are the good old days right now. Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm a lot closer to 40 than 30, so it's starting to feel old, but yeah, they're still the good old days.
Yes, sir. You look great, by the way. You look great. You
Oh,
look vibrant.
that's just all the coffee I've been drinking while we're chatting.
Well, Tom, appreciate your
But
time, man. Appreciate your
no
time.
problem. Happy to chat. Super fun.
Yes, sir. We'll try to catch you out west or at your jam this winter. It's always a good time.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Sir, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.